We're Dirty Gaming and Regalad bringing this build your own custom image with all the bells and whistles installed for you. Let's check this out. So here we are in a fresh boot. Do note there's two files being talked about here. One is the base image file, which is about 16 gigabytes, so it'll fit on a 32 gigabyte. And then the other is a 250 gigabyte ROM pack with all types of ROMs and things like that. You could go ahead and fast forward in the video if you want to see exactly what's in the ROM packs and what those do. You have a couple options here with this video. One, I'm just going to show you, this image and how to set it up really briefly. And then I'm going to also show you the ROM pack and what's included on the ROM pack. You have a couple options here. You can start with this particular base image, which is what We're Dirty Gaming and Regalad would like you to do. But it's totally up to you guys what you want to do. The other option could be to start with a Motion Blue or start with a RetroPie version 4.4 base image and then just transfer over that 250 gigabyte ROM pack. And you got a couple options there as well. You could do it all via a 256 gigabyte SD card, which is fairly expensive but way easier in my mind and way more flexible. Or you can add that 1 terabyte hard drive and add all those ROMs plus more. Now, I'm not going to show you how to set up the hard drive because I've already done that in a previous video. So I'm going to put a link to that video if you do want to see after you get this base image set up to this video. You just go from the other video as far as adding a direct, you basically just need to format your hard drive to NTSFF, put a ROMs directory, and then pair it up with your Pi and then start dragging and dropping ROMs. It's fairly simple. So I'll put a link to that video. If you want to just use this base image and get it all set up, all you got to do is go to RetroPie, go to RetroPie config, and then within there you just got to expand your file system, and then your SD card should have all the available space to it. Just select, expand it here, and then should have all the space done to it. It says all you got to do is reboot after that fact. Okay. Now, what makes this image so cool? What about these bells and whistles? Well, we've seen Motion Blue version 6, and Motion Blue version 6 has all those really cool scripts from both David Marty and Forrest from Easy Hacks. And this has all of those as well. It has the Easy Hacks toolkit, which has, add splash screens, factory reset your controls, change Sega Mega Drive to Genesis, install your power button with your GPIO pins, install background music, Zen mode 2-player controller setup so you can get 2 players, set up your Amtrak light gun, and then you have the collections, the gameless utility, and the bezel packs that you get with Motion Blue version 6 already on here. Furthermore, you have the Team ZT installer, which is kind of like ROM flicks, where you can go in and just download an entire ROM pack very easily. Now, don't get that confused with the 250 gigabyte pack, which is coming up later in the video. Those are two separate things, two different ways to get ROMs. So some other things, you got a shutdown script on your main menu. You got Pixel Desktop add-on. You got Kodi with movie add-ons pre-installed. Something you've never seen before, I haven't seen before at least, is Chromium pre-set up for you. The reason why you would want Chromium is this browser allows you to use Netflix on your Raspberry Pi 3. So now that we're talking about Raspberry Pi 3, this image is for the Raspberry Pi 3B 1.2 gigahertz. This is not for the Raspberry Pi B Plus 1.4 gigahertz. Furthermore, this is RetroPie version 4.3.16. It is not version 4.4, which was recently released. You can absolutely update this to 4.4. However, it will not work for the Raspberry Pi 1.4 3B Plus. It will still work for your Raspberry Pi 3 1.2 gigahertz, no problem at all. If you're running the Raspberry Pi 1.2, I would not necessarily recommend upgrading it right now. It just doesn't seem necessary. There's not that many updates that are going to really affect you on this build. So there you go. That's what Raspberry Pi is going to be used for. It just expand your file system and you're good to go. One last thing you might need to set up is if you are going to use a track mode, this has the Regalad version 4 a track mode on it, which is a really nice track mode. It's a nested system, and it still has all those Motion Blue version 6 track mode options in there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that really quick, track mode, which is two things you really got to do. Is one, you have to change it to English. I know it's kind of a pain, but it's fairly easy to do. And then two, you need to go ahead and change your controls so you can get around in a track mode. If you're not going to use a track mode, you could totally skip this part of the video. All right, go ahead and hit select on your controller. Go down to General. B on your controller is going to be going forward, and language, you got to change it. Go down. I believe it's English, right? The English? Sounds good to me. There you go. All right, and then you can also change your controls here. If you want to, remove your controls for what goes up, what goes left, what goes right, all that stuff. If you want to do in a track mode, that's how you do it there. Okay. Okay, let's go back. All right, and then here you are in the settings. As you can see, it's nice to see that you have all these same scripts and things accessible to you in a track mode as you also have in the emulation station. And it's really easy to add a nested or add new systems, things like that. It's all in the display utility for you. You can set that all up. I've set it up in previous videos. I just wanted to show you how to get the language changed and then set your controls so you can get in here and edit it to your liking. So there is two main parts to this build, one of them being the base image here, which is 15 gigabytes. I recommend putting on at least a 32 gigabyte. There's a couple add-on files, things like that. There's the README text, which is going to go over all the things that I mentioned earlier. And then there's the ROM pack. And the ROM pack is 256 gigabyte ROM pack. And if you right-click this, and this is going to be your artwork as well. So you might be wondering, wow, it's a lot of files. So 258 gigabytes right here. And it's going to give you not only your box art, it's going to give you your wheel art for track mode. It's going to give you your snap videos for all the little preview files. Okay, and you get some cart art as well. Now you might be wondering what systems are included. You have Amiga, quite a few here. I'm just going to go through this pretty quickly. Amstrad CPC, a lot. So a ton of those. Arcade set. 2,600 arcade games. We can go ahead and hold down Amstrad to give you more of a number. 3,300 of those. Atari 800, none. Atari 2,600, that's going to be standard. 5,200, you got them as well. 7,800, you guys have seen those as well. Atari Lynx, it's a pretty standard collection. Atari ST, quite a bit. So ST, it looks close to 1,000, it looks like, or a couple hundred at least. 409. Commodore 64, not many, about 30 or 40, maybe 60. Cole-E, Co. Vision, 147. Daphne, looks like we have a couple. Yeah, Cliff, Ace, yeah, a few games. Dreamcast, we only have Crazy Taxi 1 and 2, Dead or Alive 2, Marvel vs. Capcom, Power Stone, Physic Force, Sonic Adventure 1, 2, and Soul Calibur. Now you can obviously add your own ROMs as well, especially if you're using a 1 terabyte hard drive, you can add those in. Final Burn Alpha, none. Those are going to be all in arcade games. Family Disk System, 91. Game & Watch, probably about 58 or so. Game Gear, should be 256 items. Game Boy, 550. Game Boy Advance, 1,000. Game Boy Advance Hacks, 31. Game Boy Color, 540. Game Boy Hacks, you got about 20. Genesis Hacks, you got about 196. I think this is Game Gear Hacks, yep, Game Gear Hacks. Intellivision, none. MAME, all those are going to be in the arcade set, so nothing here. Sega Master System, also known as Genesis, or no, not Genesis, I'm thinking Mega Drive. There's 288. Mega Drive, also known as Genesis, 792. Mega Drive Japan, 200. MSX 574, MSX2 87. There's a music folder here if you want to add background music. There is none now. 1064 310. Nintendo DS. Oh wow. So here's where a lot of your space is. How big is this? It was like 1900 games. A lot of these you can delete, but again, we're going to do external hard. So there's 54 gigabytes right there. Neo Geo 152. Nintendo 798. Nintendo Hacks 10. It's a little less than 10. Neo Geo Pocket 16. Neo Geo Pocket Color over 20. PC about 10. PC Engine 260 or so. PC Engine CD looks like you only got about 4. Not even, you have 2. Ports, you can install ports on your own. PSP only 2, Chess and Chess Master. PSP Minis, it has all of them, so 290. PlayStation, so here's where a ton of them are. There's like 250 PlayStation games here. In case you're wondering what's on here. Quite a bit. Scum VM, a lot on here as well, 50 of those. Sega 32X, 40. Sega CD, 56. So not all the Sega CDs. SFC, well, how many was that? 490. SG-1000, 70. SGFX, about 5. SNES, 780. SNES Hacks, about 30. This is the Team ZT installer. It's not any games. TurboGrafx 16, about 100. TurboGrafx 16 CD, about 6 or so. Vectrix, 20. Video Pack, 40. Video Pack 2, none. Virtual Boy, about 20. WonderSwan, 100. WonderSwan Color, 90. Z Machine, none. And then finally ZX Spectrum, 350. So I was wondering what's in the kit. Those are it. You can obviously use this on the We're Dirty Gaming build, but you can also use this on a Motion Blue or on a stock version RetroPie as well. So those people wondering what all is there, it's the artwork, the video snaps, the ROMs, all set up for you in the pack. That's what you're getting. So there you have it. The Regalad Ultimate build. Really nice stuff. As I mentioned, all the bells and whistles. So all these scripts, all these add-ons, all these little features that, they take time to do. And to be honest with you guys, I've done them before in the past, and I don't want to have to, when I build a brand new image from scratch, do that every time. So it's nice that these are already done for me. The Steam, I can stream on Steam, go on YouTube, through Chromium, go on Kodi, have some add-ons already set up for you. And it already has themes, it already has the scripts, everything's all installed. So for those reasons, I love this image. Now, as far as what I do, personally, I might just take that ROM pack and throw it on a Motion Blue version 6. Or I might get the brand new Raspberry Pi version 4.4 with the stretch, and then go ahead and start a base image with the brand new Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, and then just use this ROM pack there. Or, I totally love this option. I love the attract mode already set up. I would just take this, throw the ROMs I want on it, and be done. So you got 3 solid options. I'm not saying one is necessarily way better than the other. I think each one has its own merits, and it's up to you as the user to see which one you want. But let me know what you guys think. Which route would you go? What are you liking? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Shout out to all those people that made this possible, from Regalad, We're Dirty Gaming, Forrest at Easy Hacks, David Marty, the RetroPie people. All you guys making this, further expandable, totally more options for the community, which is just amazing. And, pushing it forward. What do we expect? What do we want on an image? So thanks, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.